everyone to a very special episode of Fade to Obsidian. I am Skipper, joined as always by Crescent. And this week is our first week without a guest since the pilot. You get just the two of us.
25 episodes in?
Yeah, about that. Yep. Yeah, and we don't have anyone special joining us today.
We do have a very special book, more or less.
Yes! Are we calling this a book? Are we calling what we have books?
I mean, it's got text on pages. Yours is in a binder. I mean, mine's
got a cover.
pile of, such as it is.
If you are watching this on the day it releases, Lightbringer comes out today. So you will have a much fancier copy than what we have.
We hope, anyway. We assume.
Maybe this is it. Maybe they did finally take my artwork and produce it. We don't know what's going to happen in the next 6 weeks, pretty much.
Yeah. So this is being recorded at the beginning of June.
Yes.
We have had access to the book since mid-April. I finished it in mid-April, and I had to wait 6 weeks for Skipper to finish it.
Yes, I was a little bit slower because I was on vacation. We were doing recording Iron Gold at the time, and I really didn't. I'm actually, and we'll talk about this after, I'm very happy that I waited until the end of Iron Gold because I don't think I could have recorded some of those episodes of Iron Gold knowing what I now know. And we're recording this purposely on this week, so I have not yet started Dark Age. So I can purge Lightbringer from my brain and we can talk Dark Age without this looming over us.
Yeah, if people go back and watch Dark Age, or not Dark Age, Iron Gold, there will definitely be some points where it's like, oh yeah, Crescent's read Lightbringer.
Yeah. There is a part that we had to cut from the only Iron Gold episode that I had read, Lightbringer, because it's with bold and it's cut. You won't see it. Maybe we stick it on the end of this, where she asks a specific question about, do you know who did this? What are your theories? And both Crescent and I fell silent and awkwardly stared for a bit until I went, well, the Den's theories are...
It was
great.
Smooth as gravel, dipshit.
Yeah.
I love that line from Severo in Morningstar or Golden Sun.
Love it. I will say, so if you're watching this, we're going to do the first little bit without any spoilers. It's just going to be kind of talking about it. And then we'll hit a point and we will tell you where they'll be. We're going to try and keep it as much as we can spoiler free, so that if you're watching this just as a review, you can enjoy it and then enjoy the book.
You can stop at that point and then come back later if you want.
But the first little bit will be completely as if, you're reading the back of the book almost.
Yeah.
Probably less than that, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But...
yeah, what are you drinking tonight?
What are we drinking? I have Lagavulin 16. It felt like the thing to do to honor Pierce, to honor a bunch of our characters, Lauren, Darrow, everyone who drinks it. I think Cassius has drank it during the course.
Fortunately, Rogue.
Rogue would have... Does Rogue drink it?
Because they drink it in Rogue's stateroom.
Oh, you're right. I just always assumed that, like, Darrow is just, like, dragging around, like, his bottle of Lagavulin.
Nope.
Yeah, so that's what I'm drinking. What are you drinking?
I have one blackberry sour ale and Lagavulin 12-year special release.
Nice. Yeah. So we'll jump right in. I think the number one thing when we're talking about this today, and we've had this conversation of the difference. So you have read Dark Age recently, and how many
And
times?
I'm halfway through it at this moment today.
Yeah. But how many
So
times previously?
and I've oh
Yes.
god,
8?
like
15?
at least 10.
Yeah.
Like easily 10. I've listened to it 3 times in the last month.
Yeah. And so you went
Like
into it was bound to happen. I'm gonna leave that down so that it doesn't kill one of my cats. Oh,
y'all, this book is beefy.
It's beefy, and you know what it deserves? Because it is actually Hazard Bedlam while we're recording this.
You know what? That's a pretty good call.
I'm gonna put that right there. It's a little
Yeah.
Easter egg. But so you well versed going into this. How did it feel going from Dark Age to Lightbringer? Like in compare, same Pierce's
So
writing, or what are we feeling?
yeah, the thing that I've said is like talking about somebody putting something out, calling it rare form. It's that, but it doesn't feel right to call it rare form because at this point it's just come to be expected. It's extremely similar to Dark Age, but better.
Yeah.
Like it feels very similar, but there's a little more. Like there's some more lighthearted moments, I would say.
Yeah, this is, I think, his funniest book. Like,
I think I would agree with that.
Yeah. And Dark Age is your favorite previous to this, correct?
Yeah, up till I read Lightbringer, Dark Age was my favorite.
Yeah.
That is no longer the case. So you guys can rest easy knowing that.
Yes. For me, I have not read Dark Age since it came out. And by that I mean like since 3 days after it came out. And I've only read it the once. So 4 years ago. And so I did ask the Den before I even started Lightbringer, because obviously at that point Crescent, I think, was like halfway through. And this was like the third day. Like I did start it right away. It just, and like, I'll explain in a moment why it took me longer. Well, I kind of already did the Iron Gold and just being busy and stuff. I don't take it on a reflection of that, of why it took me so long, because once I got into it, but I did ask the Den, and luckily Pinecone came to my rescue, and I was like, just give me the highlights of Dark Age. And so, like, if you were to go on to, like, Wikipedia and look up Dark Age, I knew less, or remembered less going into this one, and I still absolutely loved it. I understood. There was a couple moments where, luckily, Red Rising Wiki exists, that I had to kind of, but probably 5. So if you have not done the reread and you're worried about that, like, you don't need to be. As long as you have at some point read Dark Age and you have access to the wiki, you will be totally fine getting through this book. And my favorite previous to this book was Golden Sun, because I like those, I like the action adventure, and I like the moments, the smaller moments between characters that we get in Golden Sun, of them learning to trust each other and all of that. And Lightbringer is now my favorite, because I would say it does a really good job of molding that we get a lot of learning to trust each other.
Ton of character work in this book.
Yes. Yeah. And a lot of really fun action scenes, kind of reminiscent of, well, all of Pierce's work, but Golden
like
Sun.
This book, like, the gas pedal goes to the floor and it stays there pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, this book fucks.
Yeah. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun reading this. knowing Crescent had finished, and people know that I absolutely hate spoilers. Even before we were recording, he was about to be like, "Do you remember this part of Dark Age?" And I was like, "Don't tell me. Let me remember it for myself." So it was a lot of fun having someone though to message and be
Yeah, I
like,
definitely got a lot of messages that were, oh my god, this happened, or oh no, and I was not allowed to react. The only thing that I was allowed to say to Skipper about the whole book until she was done was, "This is now my favorite book."
"Yeah, yeah,
That's it.
that's it."
Every message she sent me was, "Don't react." But
There would be a few, and you would give me like the condescending thumbs up. Or like ones I was really excited and passionate about, you'd put like the flame emoji and like that's it. Like, nope,
yeah,
nope. Yeah, highly entertaining. So if you have not read it, go pick it up, go grab it. I think for when it
please.
comes to hyping it, that's pretty much all we can say for right now. And
Yeah.
then we'll move
If
into,
you liked Dark Age, you for sure will like Lightbringer. You will probably love it.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's
All right,
I
we'll move in.
I don't have really anything
It's so
critical to
hard to
say.
talk about it without giving
It's,
too
yeah,
much
especially.
away. Like I'm even there's something in my mind I want to say, and maybe it'll be the thing I say directly after this. Just because it's like I don't know. I just don't want spoilers so badly that I feel like anything we say is spoiler that I wouldn't want to hear. So uh,
Yeah.
hopefully you have pre-ordered it or gone out and grabbed it. I know a few people have to wait because if you are going to signings, you often pick them up at the signing. But please enjoy it, love it, and
Yes. And
message
let us know what you
us.
think.
Yes, try and please keep the comments on this YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube, or you want to message us on Instagram. Please try and keep our comments free of spoilers for the first, I would say, well, this one for the first month.
Yeah.
And then, but you can find us in the Den, and the Den has channels set up, which is so funny
Specifically
because
for
we
the
are
book.
not the only people in the Den with advanced reader copies. There's a few people who finished around just after Crescent, so Crescent could talk to them. And I then joined the thread that is literally called I have joined or I have finished Lightbringer, and I go in and they've spoiler tagged the whole thing. So it's just black boxes and you have to click on them all, and I was like, "Guys, it's a thread called I have finished Lightbringer. It means you can talk about Lightbringer openly."
Still felt dirty at the time.
Yeah, but yeah, so the Den has definitely safe space for everyone on their journey through Lightbringer, and join us in that thread once you're done, and we can really
Yes, please
discuss.
do.
Yeah, we'll probably have a Fade to Obsidian thread as well that we can open up, but who knows? That is 6 weeks from now. We have not
Yeah, we haven't
thought
even
that
started
through.
recording Dark Age yet, so
No, yeah.
and some of us haven't even started reading Dark Age yet.
No, still don't remember what's happening. People are talking about it in the Den, and I'm like, "Oh, that's a thing. Okay." But yeah, okay, so now we're going to move in to our slight spoilers. So we'll talk kind of more. We're going to do this vaguely still because A,
As
we
much
got,
as we can.
well, and we got an advanced reader copy. So for all we know, this isn't
Yeah.
even the book. We don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, this it could be just like, oh yes, this is completely different.
we know at least one line that's not in the in the book that Pierce let us know about, and it'll forever
Yeah.
be our little secret.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so we'll move into slightly more spoilery, but not.
Yeah.
We'll keep it vague.
Light spoilers, but if
Yeah,
you don't want spoilers, get out now.
turn it
And we'll
off.
see you when you're done.
Yeah. Hopefully next week on this day, I will be in Tulsa, and Crescent will be somewhere in the U.S. So if you're getting
no,
out
because it's
now,
this is releasing on the Tuesday.
you're
Are
right.
you in Tulsa on the Tuesday? Okay, so 2 days after this,
Yeah,
no, a week and two
a
days
week and
after
two
this, we will
days.
both be in Tulsa.
Yes. But the episode that will air for next week on August 2nd will actually be about Community. So you can
Yeah,
tune in and watch that one.
yeah,
Uh,
we're gonna have a little bit of a light, uh, emotionally cleansing episode.
yeah. So join us for
So
that. But everybody else who's okay with light spoilers, let's go for it. Let's dig right in.
buckle up.
All right. So number one, favorite character in Lightbringer.
Ooh, ooh, oh, why you got to do me like that? That's
Okay.
it's so hard to choose. Um, like I'm a Darrow stan,
Yeah, you are.
like unapologetic Darrow stan, and Darrow's Darrow in this book, and like what more can you want?
Yeah.
Um,
And I feel
and
like
like I mean,
Darrow,
it's
you stop.
there's a lot of growth from Darrow in this
Yes,
book. I would say,
that's what I was gonna
like
say. That I
tons.
spend a lot of Iron Gold and I think Dark Age mad at Darrow, and I was not mad at him in this book. The decisions that he made were more thought through than what we see, at least in Iron Gold. Like a lot of growth from
Yeah,
him. A lot of
yeah.
yeah,
Like
Darrow's good.
we leave Dark Age with a beaten, broken Darrow,
Yeah,
and Lightbringer picks up shortly after Dark Age.
yeah,
So we get um, a lot of internal growth
yeah,
as well as external.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Who's your favorite?
I'm so mad that it's my favorite. It's Cassius. And I'm so mad that he grows on you. I think it's you get to see him in I mean, this is kind of the first we see him back with well, I don't remember Darrow that or Dark Age that much, but we don't see much of him and Darrow in Dark Age. In this one, they're together
No,
for
there's like
it's like
it's that much.
yeah. So they're together a lot more, and so you see a lot more of his growth that you've seen, I would say, in any other book. You see his interactions that he does kind of have that sweetheart side that like maybe you're not a dolphin, and I'm like mad at
Yeah,
myself.
I'm I'm super excited to see how Dram feels after this.
I
After this book.
know. Oh my god. Yeah, you can't not like the guy after this. I think there's a few characters in this that grew on me a lot. Lyria being another
Yeah.
one. That I mean, to be
Yep.
fair, Lyria started growing on me on my reread of Iron Gold this time round, but
Yeah.
I really liked her in this one.
Yes. Yeah, she's definitely getting fleshed out a lot more,
Mm-hmm.
like she does through Dark Age, obviously. Um, but she grows up a lot in this book,
Yes. Yeah.
and there's some fun interactions between her and some other characters
Yeah,
that I really
because
like.
yeah, we'll leave this vague for right now, but who she ends up with is fantastic. That it's not I don't think
Yeah,
anyone no
wildly
one's gonna get
unexpected.
yeah, no one's gonna guess who the journey she ends up on, who she's with, and it's just fantastic and works so well that
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I expected it to work that well. It was just great. Uh,
Yeah, we also see a little bit of growth of the Republic,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like in itself. Um, like this one's very minor, but it's explicitly stated now that in the Republic, color modifiers are no longer used in names.
Yes.
So it's now Virginia Augustus.
Yep.
It's Cassius Bologna.
Yep.
There's no ow, there's no T, there's no.
Yep.
So.
Which I think we even get Cassius correct someone about. I believe that happens is
I
someone
believe
calls
so.
him Cassius Augusta, or sorry, Bologna, and he says just it's Cassius Bologna. Like even Cassius is on it of like no, which I more bonus points that I'm mad about. It's fine. Um, yeah. We also get to see in the Republic, and this is the thing that I was like, I don't know if this is not a spoiler or not, but we get the best feminist scene, I would say, of the series, and it is done almost to the level of this is what I'll say. It is Marvel Endgame's carrying, protecting Spider-Man and carrying oh my god, what
The
is it
Infinity
called?
Gauntlet.
Yes, the
Or the
gauntlet.
the Nano Gauntlet.
Yes, but it's done in a way that is not fan service. It just makes sense.
Yeah,
And I
it's
loved that I was sitting there going, oh, well, obviously that's who would be in charge of that and that's who would be
yeah,
doing that. Like
of
it just
course. Yeah.
it's just so naturally done in comparison to I always found the Marvel ones of She's Not Alone
Yeah.
or the Infinity Gauntlet of like, oh, you're just doing it so that like us women do a like, hey, we feel represented. Like you actually go through, and there's one
Yeah.
big one, but there's the tie-ins throughout this are so good that we get so many complex female characters that do not feel forced, and it's so good. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's I don't know. That section is like probably top three for sure
Yeah.
for me. Like it's incredible.
I think it. Well, I
It's
mean, go.
it's it's hard hard to even express.
For me it was I'm not gonna lie, like it was that going into Lightbringer, it was the thing I wanted to see. I made jokes all the time about if you've seen Birds of Prey, there's the moment um where one of them hands off a hair elastic mid fight. And I was like, what I want is because we end Dark Age, and this is a part I have reread recently because just that one chapter, we end Dark Age with Mustang and Victra finally aligned for the first time in this series. And I said, I wanted this scene where, the two of them are ambushed or something. Mustang's not going to have a razor, but Victor's going to have like 10 of them on her and just be like, here you go, and throw the razor to Mustang. Like, I just wanted that. And that's not what happens, but what happens is less force than
Same
that.
energy.
It's the same energy, but I would say almost bigger. That it's this like, of course, like, well, so it's not spoilers to say that obviously those two women are part of this, and it just makes sense that Mustang is being the sovereign in that moment, and Victra is doing what Victra does best in that moment, and it makes so much sense for them to work together, and it's bigger than just the like here's the hair elastic. Like it's a like oh, it's so good. It's so good. Like I almost want to just reread that section. Like it just made my heart so happy. But then there's also not related to Mustang and Victra parts that you get that kind of strong female empowerment from, which is great. It's just all through this you get that equality does exist in space, and it's fabulous.
In
Yeah.
the Republic, anyways.
In the Republic, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
the other thing I want to say is Pierce is definitely tying up plot threads in
Mm-hmm.
this. Like Dark Age was rife with antagonists, and things were going on, and like it didn't feel rushed, but it definitely you could definitely tell that Pierce was like, all right, we're tying this up, we're tying this up, we're tying this up. Like
Yeah.
things are narrowing down, and there's like Red God is going to be focused.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. We're getting a lot of converging storylines so that it's less
Yeah,
difficult to pay attention to where we are and what's happening and where like there's definitely converging storylines, which is makes it so much easier to keep track of. I didn't have to go, too many times to the Red Rising wiki to be like, wait, what? Where did I
yeah. Who's
leave
this?
this? Which is great. Uh, the other great part for me was, and I won't say what it is, but there is sea creatures that are not krakens, but sea creatures. So we've got mythological creatures happening here. One really sad
Yeah,
one that
yeah.
that was a hilarious message where I went, "There's a dragon." Oh, the dragon's dead, which is not a spoiler because it happens 2 sentences apart from
Yeah,
each.
right now.
Oh,
Um,
um,
yeah,
but
there's a
yeah,
few. Um,
there's a few, and they talk through
yeah,
them, and
there's one that's real good.
yeah,
That's a real good moment.
yeah,
Have fun, people.
have fun, have so much fun with this. But
Oh my god, I can't wait to talk to all of you about it. Like
this is so
I've
hard
just
right
I've
now.
been bottled up for 6 weeks, and I'll be bottled up for another 6. See me at
Yeah.
Tulsa. Let's nerd out.
Yes. Well, where we're recording right now, we know that there's more arcs going out, kind of every day. More
Yep.
people get advanced reader copies. So hopefully between now and then, people start talking to us. But we've been in our own little silo for a bit, which is
Yeah. A little
interesting.
echo chamber.
Yeah. Hence why we can't even have a guest on tonight. Um, but yeah, I don't know. What else do we wanna? I feel like
I
this
don't
is
know.
a
I
little
feel like
if we
yeah, I
get
was gonna say
too
I feel
into something, we're just gonna end up being
yeah,
like theorizing about Red God by the end of this.
yeah.
Um,
Uh, a lot of like review things, like shorter, I think is better.
yeah,
So I think we can honestly I haven't even touched my whiskey yet, but that's okay. Um,
the one thing I want to throw out
I'm
there
drinking my beer.
is because it's an ongoing thing in the den about how depressing Dark Age is. Um, and we said this is the funniest book to date, and like we're not gonna lie to you. I cried once, but I was not bawling on the side of the road like I was for Dark Age. So for those of you who are worried of what trauma, what you're gonna have to take back to your therapist, it is less than Dark Age.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's like there's some rough moments because you know it's Red
it's
Rising,
Pierce.
it's Pierce.
Obviously,
Like
people
there's some rough moments.
die,
There has
but
to be
but
because otherwise we wouldn't have a compelling story.
yeah,
But it is. I don't know if I would say it's a much lighter book than Dark Age, but it's definitely noticeably lighter. It's less bleak for sure.
yeah.
Um,
It ends with so much hope. That is, I think, the huge
yes,
thing is we get hope at the end. So yeah, but yeah. So enjoy. Message us.
yeah, please
I
do.
I should be in Toronto on July 31st. So if Canadian Howlers are heading there, I can finally. This is a secret also I've been keeping, but that I've known for a bit when the Toronto date is. That if you are going
By the
to,
time this airs, it should be announced.
I'm hoping that a week prior to the event, they've announced it. Um,
You would think.
you would think, but yeah, come to Toronto if you're in the area, and see me there, and then the next day after that will be Crescent's birthday. So if you're watching this, it is the day after Crescent's birthday. No, it's not. It's a week. There's a week still, and then Crescent's. I'm so confused on this timeline.
Okay,
But
this is
then
coming out on the 25th.
this is coming the 25th. But yeah, so then Crescent's birthday is August 1st. I know this time. And we'll see you all, hopefully, some of you at least, in Tulsa. Uh, and come talk to us there when we can actually nerd out. If you have not finished reading it by Tulsa, well, you shouldn't probably be watching this video, but if you are watching for the minor spoilers and you haven't finished and you don't want us, just let us know. We are going to
Yeah,
keep
you can
our
tell us.
Instagram. Yep, just
Yeah, if you want to discuss a certain point in the book, say this is where I'm at.
yep,
I don't want spoilers past here, but oh my god.
yes. But yeah, we want to respect that, and as we say, obviously, right after this, we're going to be getting into the nitty gritty of Lightbringer. So obviously, don't watch those episodes, but we are going to try and keep everything we can for the first month as spoiler free as we have for Iron Gold and Dark Age leading up to this. So
Yeah, we will not be having specifically like deep dive episodes of Lightbringer for at least the first month.
yeah,
We've got some neat little things.
things
Obviously, next
happening.
week we've got our community spaceship episode. Um, we have
We will definitely
uh,
have a Howler Con
uh
vlog
oh, I need
video.
yes. We're gonna be doing a live, well, not live, but an in person recording of Fade to Obsidian at Tulsa.
I assume with
Um,
Salem and maybe whatever other howlers are kicking around in the hotel room at the time. Who knows? We could have a whole group of us there.
yeah. We are going to be doing an interview with Jenna Sharp, the voice actress who voices Mustang in the graphic audio version.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got
Actually,
a
it'll be done
bunch.
by the time this comes out, but
Yeah.
for you guys, it's in the future.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, we've got a whole bunch planned for August, and then September we will pick up with how we've been doing everything else. We'll assume that the Den is doing almost a read along, or we'll create our own so that you know what
Yeah.
chapters we're on.
Yeah, and I think our plan is to have it fairly granular.
Mm-hmm.
Like we will be discussing small sections at a time.
Yes. Yeah.
Because obviously Iron Gold got a little bit crazy. Dark Age is going to be crazy, even though we've upped it to 6 parts.
Yeah. This
Or
one's.
probably at this point will have been crazy, I'm sure.
Let
But
us know. Who knows?
we've had a couple 3 hour episodes at this point.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to talk about in Lightbringer, and so if we can keep it cut down, it will allow us to get in depth with stuff, but also keep the episode lengths reasonable.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I hope
Yeah,
you enjoy Lightburner.
fun.